to my channel. So today I am going to be starting my starts for fall. I was planning on doing this on Saturday, that I mentioned in my other video, but I had a really rough weekend. I worked a lot and I just got busy. And I also was going to try, like I usually do, which is probably the reason that I fail every year, was just start these outside and leave the pots outside. But the only problem with me doing that is because I'm not at my garden every day, so I can't water every day. So I can't keep an eye on my starts every day. And your starts need to stay moist. And okay, what I was saying is that, yeah, stuff in that backyard just gets dry and crispy and it's very hot back there. So I'm going to, even though I'd already put away my grow light in the spring, I think I put my grow light away in, I want to say it was the end of May, and I had it up since I think mid-March, maybe the end of February, I'm not sure. Anyway, when that is in my grow light's right here, this is where it was in the spring. But when your grow light, when you're not a plant person, is just up in your house and you have all these plants everywhere, it's like bothers everyone else. But I was fine with it. I could keep an eye on my stuff every day. So yeah, I'm going to do all my starts for the fall inside under my grow light. That way I can keep an eye on them, make sure they're growing good. I divided up my pile that I showed you guys the other day, and this is the pile I'll tell you guys. Well, I guess I'll put that in that pile. This is the stuff that I'm going to start in my little pots inside, and then the rest of the stuff I'm going to start in September doing direct sow. So I have some veggies and flowers. So I'm going to do my radicchio inside, because I was looking and that takes 80 days till maturity. So I don't want to risk that getting messed up doing direct sow and also having to wait till September, because it kind of needs cooler temps and our house is pretty cool in here. So my radicchio I'll do inside, my cabbage, my cilantro, because every time I try to direct sow cilantro, it never works. My mother-in-law can do it, I can't do it. My broccoli, my violet asters, my king-size apricot asters. Oh, I'm missing one of my, that's weird. I gotta find another one of my asters. I'm missing my blue one. And then my parsley, which I don't use parsley really for anything. I mean, I like parsley, but I grow it for the pollinators. I'm a big pollinator gardener, and they actually like a lot of herbs. Like, I try to grow dill every year, and butterflies love dill. I grew fennel this year successfully, and I'm pretty sure butterflies like fennel. A lot of that stuff is host plants for them. So when you plant host plants for pollinators, it keeps them in your garden, because when they lay their eggs and those eggs hatch, the little babies eat whatever they hosted on. So, but anyway, yeah, those little baby bugs and butterflies and stuff like that will eat the plant that you plant for them, that the mother laid the eggs on. I found my other asters. These are my Bonita Top Blue. They're really pretty. I really like asters. It's one thing I struggle with every year to grow, and I know they like cooler weather, so I'm really gonna try this year to get them to, so I can have, it might be too late, I don't know, but also we kind of have an extended growing season lately. And then the last two flowers I'm gonna do are carnation. See how this goes. I'm pretty sure carnation's in the dianthus family, I think. And dianthus is a perennial here, so I don't see why this wouldn't work. But anyway. And then I tried to grow these in the spring. I really wanted these for summer bouquets, but I think I had to move a whole bunch of stuff where I direct sowed these in my garden. This is the Fata Morgana pincushion. And then my last two veggies are the pie pumpkin, candy stick delicata, and man, my pile, I organized it, it still got messed up. My Jack B. Little, these little pumpkins. I really want to put these on my arch. I think that'll be so cute to have these like growing on my arch in the fall. So that is my plan as far as direct sowing. Not direct sowing, starting them in pots. I already have some pre-moistened soil right here. And I already have a couple pots filled up, and I got my chopstick. This is what I use to help make holes. So yeah, I figured I could just start seeds. We could do it together. I'm really hoping, so this seed company, I'm not the biggest fan, and they're really, really local to me. Like within, I'm pretty sure within 50 miles, these are grown and then harvested here in my region. But I'm not very impressed because I tried to grow a lot of stuff from them last year and I did not have a lot of success. So I'm gonna do 3 in this pot. And then, so for my labels, I use plastic sticks that I make from cutting up yogurt containers. I actually learned that from another creator, Esther's Gardening Adventures, and it works amazing. I just use Sharpies, but you can use like those weatherproof or waterproof Sharpies if you want to have these outside. But yeah, this always works for me, this method of using these plastic markers. So that's my delicata squash. Got 3 seeds in there. Then I'm gonna do my winter pumpkin pie pumpkins. I think I'll do 3 of these as well. I love pumpkins, and I always try to grow them every year, different varieties of pumpkins, a lot of different varieties of squash. I never really have luck with squash. This is the first year that I've had significant luck with squash ever since I tried to revamp my gardens, or my grandma's garden. Like, I honestly can't remember if that was 4 or 5 years ago. I think it was 4, maybe 3. And that year, even though the garden was a hot mess, I did have some wins. I've mentioned that before. And the squash was one of them because I basically ignored it. And the squash plants got to grow as much as they wanted because they had the space to do so. And I think I planted summer squash. They were green. They were really big and long and green, but it was a summer squash variety. I don't know what variety it was, but it wasn't yellow. I know that. And those seeds may have actually been from the Dollar Tree. I'm not sure. Because at the time, I literally only got seeds from Home Depot, the Dollar Tree, and then I think at that time I was getting seeds from Baker Creek. I'm not sure. I don't know if I had discovered Baker Creek yet. But in the beginning of all my gardening, I was really into Baker Creek. I mean, I still like them. There's just a lot of other companies I like too. But yeah, so this year, back on subject, I'm really hoping I have good luck with my pumpkins and my squash in the fall, because my summer squash have been doing really good. I'm really happy with those. Okay, so far I've got my delicata and my pumpkin pie. Knocking those out. I'm gonna put those back in my binder, which I'm gonna show you guys how I do my seed organizing as well. Because I think it's worth a mention, especially if you're someone who has a lot of seeds. I mean, everyone has what works for them. Okay, I'll do 3 of these as well. I think people always recommend when you do squash to do 3 plants. So, get those in there. Okay. Oh, I'm dropping markers. Okay. Jack B. Little. I love to use these for decorations. They're so cute. I'm such a pumpkin girl, but my sister-in-law, her family has a farm, and not every year, but a lot of the time we go there and we get pumpkins. But it'll be a normal thing now because their farm is just amazing. It's one of the best pumpkin patches out there, in my opinion. Okay, so I'm gonna fill up more pots with my moist soil. So another thing that I wanted to talk about, because I think so much better when I'm inside, not outside under the sun, but I've pretty much made a decision. I was talking about it with my mother-in-law, and she's the same way, because she's a florist. I don't think I've ever mentioned that, but she's also a avid gardener. I'm just trying to find all my veggies so I can do my veggies. Here we go. Broccoli. My mother-in-law loves to garden. Her garden is absolutely amazing. She has built everything nearly by herself. There's only a few things that she's had to hire out for, but a lot of her structures and her trellises she has built by herself. And it's very, very impressive. And we were talking, and I'm so over, peppers grow good here. Once they get going, peppers do good. However, because we get, I honestly think it's because our winters are so wet here, we cannot overwinter our peppers like some people can. I know some people can down in the south. Like in the south, in some areas, there are some peppers that people can just like keep growing. They get bigger every year. Their harvests get bigger every year, and it's basically a perennial for them. But what I was saying was, if you want to have a successful harvest of your peppers and big healthy plants, a lot of people who are starting them from seed will start them in December, which can be really overwhelming, because usually here, a lot of the time, you just finished your harvest and took them out of the ground, and like, depending on how late you like to garden, you know, at the end of October or even in November. I think I've harvested peppers in November before. And so it's almost this whole year-long process. And that's just for one thing. That's for peppers. And the amount of things that you can grow in my state is insane. There's a lot of stuff we can't grow, but there is quite a bit. Our weather and our climate is so unique, and we just have such a wide range of stuff that works. But with that said, there are some stuff that won't survive, and it requires extra care for it to thrive here. So I would say, with our climate changing and how dry our summers have got over the last, I want to say 6-7 years, because when I was a little kid, I mean, I've lived here my whole life and I pay attention to the weather. I remember a lot of the time our summers were not dry. They were wet a lot. But that's just how our state is. Like, and if you live here, you understand that, especially if you pay attention to the weather. We're always fluctuating. You can always be different. There's some summers we have that are cooler. There are some we get that are super hot. There are some months one year that are insane, and some months that are just normal and not record breaking. So again, back to the peppers. I did peppers this year. I started, I think, 7 or 8 varieties indoors. And I don't think I started my peppers until maybe the end of January, maybe February. I honestly can't remember. But in years past, I've definitely started peppers last week of December, first week of January. And when you're trying to get everything together for what you want to put in your spring garden, plan for your summer garden, you know, do any work outside you need to do once the weather allows to get your garden beds ready, or your pots, or whatever your gardening medium is. it can be a lot, and they take up a lot of space. And I just only have this one grow light. So I've pretty much made the decision that I am not going to start peppers from seed anymore. I have a ton of pepper seeds that I'm probably going to give to my brother, because my brother wants to be a pepper, I don't even know the word. He wants to grow all kinds of peppers because he wants to make all kinds of cool stuff. And I love that for him. I can't wait till he can garden. But for me, for as much as I love to start things from seed, especially flowers, I would much rather have the space indoors under my grow light for flowers that I can't start outside in the winter via direct sowing. Or even, what's the word? With the milk jugs. Oh, I'm spacing on it. Whatever, you guys know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I would just much rather do so many other things than have so much of my grow light be peppers under there. Because then also what happened, I literally cried. It was the weekend of, I think it was the weekend of Father's Day, and I still had not gotten all my peppers in the ground, because my garden, it took so long for me to get all my spots and my spaces and everything organized to be ready to plant in the ground. My mother-in-law helped me a lot. I always give props to my mother-in-law because she did help me a lot. I did not do all that by myself. I did quite a few things by myself, but she bought me one of my cattle panels for one of my arches. I bought the other one, but she helped me get one of those in the ground. She provided all the T-posts for that, and she helped me once I peeled back the plastic that was covering that garden that me and my dad laid there last summer to keep the soil from getting damaged and also to help keep weeds down. Once I got all that back and I was ready to like start planting in there, I had to tear up a whole bunch of roots. She helped me get roots torn up. She helped me measure spaces for my arches and like space out my garden so it's even, and all different kinds of things she helped me do. But I could not get all of my peppers in the ground until I want to say it was like mid-June. And all my peppers were stunted because they had been outside in little pots to harden off, in which also I lost a lot of my peppers because of the hardening off process that I mess up every year. And I was just so upset because the peppers take so much time and space to take care of that when you go to plant them in the ground and they're stunted and you've already lost so many because of damage. I lost a couple of my tomatoes. I think I lost some peppers in transport because obviously I start all this at my house and my garden's at my papa's house. A lot of my tomatoes snapped, and yes, I know I can propagate, which I tried to do, but again, you know, I don't have the time to keep fixing things like that. I really just I dedicate all my time to my starts and my seedlings, and then once I get them in the ground, I need them to just take off. I need them to work. I've been really on top of fertilizing this year. I'm watering better. Everything is in the ground, which already is like 10,000 times better than them being in pots, because again, pots dry out faster. I'm not over there every day. So, you know, it was just a lot. I had a really, really tough time with peppers this year, which is ironic because last year, even though I had them in pots, peppers is pretty much the only crop that I got. My tomatoes did not flourish. I did not get any beans. I got my lemon cucumbers, but my peppers, I had so many peppers last year. I think I'm going to do 2 pots of cabbage because I really want a lot of cabbage. I might even do another pot of broccoli because I'm talking and I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. But, yeah. But, what I was saying is that the only peppers that I really I'll try any kind of pepper. I really will, as long as it's not going to make me die. But my heat tolerance has gotten so much better over the years that I'm pretty open to trying new kinds of peppers. And so with that being said, I like having varieties of peppers, but as far as me, because I'm also just trying to grow what I eat, it's fun to experiment, but I really only could use all the time is cayenne, jalapenos, banana pepper, and then I've tried to grow, because I love those little snack peppers that you can get in that bag. I've tried to grow those before. I don't think I've ever had any success, but I wouldn't mind if I can find them, because I'm no longer going to be starting peppers from seed. I'm going to buy them, because two things. I don't have to take up my space to grow those. Also, when you buy them from the garden center or your nursery, wherever they are, they've already been hardened off. And the hardening off process is something that's very difficult for me, because I can't manage that, because I don't have sun in my backyard. I tried to harden off in my backyard, but there's too much shade and there's too many critters. So if I put stuff out there for like 3 hours, then try to bring it back in, there's a pretty good chance a bird already got to it, a squirrel dug in there and dug it up. So, you know, I can't harden off at my papa's house because I'm not over there constantly to do that. And I also can't keep my starts over there because they'll die. So I'm totally just going to be doing peppers from the store. I don't mind doing that, because that's one thing I don't mind investing some money into is peppers from the store. I don't want to buy pepper seeds anymore, as much as it may look cool in the catalog or the website. There's so much work, and I don't ever see myself having a whole room or a whole shelf for seed starting. I live in an apartment. This is all I really have room for. And again, this is a hobby for me. I don't know if I'm ever going to go full-blown homestead. I don't need to have a whole grow light set up. For me, that's just, I don't see that. It's a lot. I'm a busy person. And a lot of that stuff, you know, this is enough to manage for me right now. So I just really wanted to talk about that, because this year, my peppers gave me a mental breakdown. And so I just wanted to share that, because a lot of people, especially if you're new, you know, I did it. I'm guilty of it. You want to do everything else. You want to do everything that everyone else is doing. And when you see other people growing all these different kinds of cool peppers, and you're like, oh, I want to do that. I could do that. No, thank you, honey. I already did that one.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Go over there.
Okay.
Okay. My son's whispering to me in this little creepy voice. Okay, so I just did another pot of broccoli. So I have 2 pots of broccoli, 2 pots of cabbage. That should be good. But yeah. I was just thinking about that the other day when I was watering my peppers, because half of my peppers that I got into the ground successfully are doing great, and then the other half are doing terrible. They've looked terrible all summer. They're not thriving. I'm getting like a couple peppers here and there, but yeah, it's just. And then my tomatoes, I was also thinking, because a lot of people shoot for Mother's Day for like tomatoes and stuff like that. But this year, our May was so cold. Like in our apartment, we were turning on our electric fireplace in May. And granted, our apartments are covered by shade, and we just kind of naturally have a cooler environment in here anyway. But in May, we were using our fireplace. So I don't even think I got my tomatoes. I don't even remember when I got those out, but it was way past Mother's Day. I know that. And so with that being said, our growing season is so long that I am not going to be starting my tomatoes now probably until mid-April. And that might be a stretch, but again, if I'm starting my tomatoes in March, they take up so much space. And tomatoes, they're not, I mean, I don't know, depending on who you ask, some people think that tomatoes are divas. I don't. My tomatoes, if you would have seen them, because I started my channel after I planted them, if you would have seen my starts, you would have been like, girl, those are not going to grow anything. They were in such bad shape. But that's the thing, tomatoes, they bounce back. And I thought, because I grew, I think I did like 5 or 6 varieties of tomatoes, but then some of mine snapped. A couple of them died. So I think I'm only going to end up with maybe 4, if that. But definitely I should have 3. But yeah, my tomatoes bounce back. So I'm not worried about. Okay, I'm going to hurry up and get the rest of my veggies going, and then I'll do my flowers off camera. Because my camera keeps running out of space. But I just have my radicchio and my parsley. And these seeds are pretty small. But yeah. I'm running out of, hopefully you guys can't hear my neighbor's dog barking. He's kind of loud. He's a sweet dog though. All right, radicchio. I have to remember to label as I go because I'm sure you will soon find out that I'm absolutely terrible with labeling things. Like, I don't even know where my tomatoes are that are which variety, where I'm like, I mess it up every year because I'm so unorganized about my labeling. There's way too many seeds in this pot, but these are kind of old seeds, so maybe that's fine. I was also supposed to surface sow those, so whatever. Parsley. My fennel. I'll show you guys in my garden tour video. My fennel is doing so good. I think that's why I'm getting so many butterflies. That and my phlox. The butterflies love my phlox. Okay, so that is all of the veggies. I think I'm gonna put my asters in these. That way all my asters are together. And I'll probably put my pin cushion in here too. But I don't think I've ever been this organized about fall seed starting. I'm gonna have to sweep up so much dirt, but it is what it is. This is where I usually, in the spring, I was starting all my seeds over here anyway. So it's fine. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get these started off camera, and then I'll show you guys my grow light setup once I get everything going. And I also wanna show you guys my seed binder. Cause I mean, I don't know, you may have your own system, but I've done quite a few systems and I just want to show you guys how this one works. So maybe you might find some inspo from it. Okay, so this is everything that I just started under the grow light. I have these in this tray, so when I water it goes in here. I have another tray I need to find to put for these, but I pretty much started everything I showed you guys. The only thing I decided to do extra was I have still some soil in a pot. I put my wild bergamot in here because I love that plant and I've tried to grow it from seeds several times, but I'm going to direct sow the rest of the seeds. But I started some in here just in case. That way, if I have some starts, I can plant them out in the fall. But yeah, so these are what I got going for fall. This is the aftermath of my seed project. This is all stuff that I'm gonna put back in this bag for direct sowing in September. But let me show you guys my binder. So I think I started this project in the fall, I want to say, or very end of summer. But I love having my stuff in a binder because A of all, like my wish list for 2027 that I already made, I put it in the slot here so I can put cute whatever I want here. But I got these sleeves and you can see everything. You can flip and I just love it. It's so much easier and so much organized to what I've done in the past. Granted, I mean, I get if you have an aesthetic and you like your stuff to be cute and stored nice and whatever. I totally get that because I've done things in envelopes and put them in a cute basket. That ended up not working because all my envelopes ended up breaking for how much. Anyway, yeah, I've definitely had seeds in cute decorative boxes before. That does not work for me because my seeds end up spilling everywhere. They just get very unorganized for how much I'm in and out of my boxes. So the binder has definitely provided a lot of ease and organization for my seeds because I invest a lot into my seeds. Granted, I'm just a hobby gardener, but my seeds are pretty important to me. Like, if I had a house fire, God forbid, I would grab my seed binder. But, yeah, so I just wanted to, like, share that in case you needed some inspo for seed storage. I know a lot of people use the photo containers, but that's not really my vibe. And that's fine, to each their own. But, yeah, so I'm glad I got started for fall. Fall garden is on the way. And more flowers. So, yeah. Staying accountable for fall garden. But anyway, I'll see you guys on my next video, which should be a garden tour. I need to do my August garden tour, so that'll be coming up.